Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge in der Interviewserie von der Leuchtmasse, dem Uhrenpodcast mit Ralf, Uhren sammeln mit Sinn und ohne Verstand. Heute haben wir einen interessanten Gast, Niels Eggerding, der CEO von Frederique Constant. Wir interviewen ihn. In diesem Interview werde ich begleitet von meinem Autorenkollegen Mark Wheeler, der ist ein Contributor bei Scottish Watches. Dort schreibt er auf der Webseite Artikel und hat auch einige Livestreams, an denen er auf YouTube erscheint. Also gegebenenfalls habt ihr ihn schon mal gehört und erkennt die Stimme. Ja, wir unterhalten uns mit Niels ganz entspannt über die Marke Frederique Constant, die Fehler, die er anfangs als CEO gemacht hat, die Erfolge, die er mittlerweile mit Frederique Constant hat, die neuen Uhrenmodelle, Tourbillions, die Bandbreite von verschiedenen Uhrenmodellen, die es in der Marke gibt, also von günstigen Uhren mit dazugekauften Uhrwerken bis zu in-house hergestellten Tourbillon mit ewigen Kalender und was weiß ich noch für fast 50.000 Euro. Da hast also, Frederique Constant hat diese enorme Bandbreite an verschiedenen Modellen. Wir sprechen auch ein bisschen darüber, welche Vorteile es hat, Teil eines großen Uhrenkonglomerats zu sein und mit welchen der Marken des Uhrenkonglomerats Niels zusammenarbeitet. Und am Ende verrät er uns auch noch ein bisschen oder ein kleines Geheimnis quasi über ein recht bemerkenswertes Update, das in 2024 bei Frederique Constant ausgerollt wird. Eins, das ich persönlich super finde und mich sehr freut. Ja, ich hoffe, diese Interviewfolge gefällt euch. Die startet direkt jetzt, nachdem ich aufgehört habe zu reden. Viel Spaß und bis bald. Hello and welcome to an interview with some very, very interesting guests today. We have with us Niels Eggerding from Frederique Constant. Do I pronounce the brand name correct? Is that correct?
Yeah, very good. My name and the brand name. Good.
All right.
So thank you for honoring me here.
Wonderful. Yeah, welcome, Niels. And we also have Mark with us. Mark is writing part of the
Scottish Watches Writing Team.
Yes, you can say that better
than
me.
Nice mix. We're in Dubai, you're German, I'm Dutch, and you're from
I'm British,
Scotland.
based in the US.
How mixed can it be?
Absolutely, yeah. So, talking about Frederique Constant.
Yeah.
What a year was 2023 for you?
Ooh.
From our perspective, it must have been absolutely crazy. How was it from your side?
Yeah, I can admit it's the same. So after now approaching the end of the year, I think I've been, it's one of my busiest year since I joined Frederique Constant for 12 years now.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So it came all together this year. We celebrated 35 years. We launched 3 years back the new High Life collection. Mm-hmm. That is a more modern spirit of the brand. Attract a new audience, but also continue to connect with the existing classical audience we had. And the celebration this year has it forced me to travel, but also exceptional launches we did. So right. And that together really made this year very nice.
Yeah. So I have a very interesting question about Frederique Constant, because what maybe some people don't know is that you're part of a bigger conglomerate.
Yeah.
How much does it benefit you as Frederique Constant, as the maybe even the face of that conglomerate?
Well, we have been acquired by Citizen Watch Group Tokyo, a public listed company. Mm-hmm. They have more than 27,000 employees worldwide. 120 entities globally, and all entities operate quite independently. So also us, we are Swiss. They have another company in Switzerland that's called Le Joubret. Mm-hmm. It's a movement company together with Arnold and Son and Angelus, the brands. And they really wanted to have a foot into the Swiss watchmaking with those two companies. And they keep us independent. I report clearly to them on, let's say, 2 times a year AGM, where the external and internal board are present. Strategically, we present really how we believe we should do it. And they helped much more with distribution, where they have affiliates in key markets like US, UK, Japan, and also Italy. And they have a machine running with Citizen, but they set up a different business unit for our brands. And that's where you really see now, after 6-7 years, it really starts to kick off.
Right. Very nice. Will you have certain exchanges maybe with other brands, like the Citizen brand was very strong in their high accuracy quartz movements that are, the Chronomasters, which are only known to specific subset of watch collectors, because that's a very niche product for us here in the Western world, but very, very famous in Japan. Is there maybe something like that on the horizon?
No. I can say we work more closely with Le Joubert in Switzerland,
Right.
the Swiss-based company who's doing the movements for us partly. Yeah, they have the L100 and the G100 movements, quite exceptional, high-quality movements. But with Citizen itself, not. They really keep that very independent, but also separately.
All right. Yeah. Makes sense. You also had this absolutely amazing monolithic manufacture movement that you have released. What was the thought process behind having this absolutely stunning modern movement?
Yeah.
And you put it in a rather traditional case?
That's a question that I've heard a lot. So yeah, it's true. It's true. I acknowledge clearly that it has been a very modern, innovative movement upgrade. It's never done in the history like we have been doing it. So 40 hertz, a regular movement beats on 4 hertz, 26 crucial components in the assortment, replaced by one single oscillator, silicium oscillator. When we do a very innovative product movement, we always combined it with the typical DNA-driven dial design. And the brand stands for a classical layout. It's a classical watch brand. It changed in the course of the past years, but when we designed that watch, we really wanted to bring those worlds together. With the innovative drive, together with a very classical DNA-driven dial.
Right.
That brings the brand up. Later, you can be assured that we will have some modern timepieces coming back with that movement.
Oh, fantastic. That's good news for us.
Yes.
Mark, we had a small discussion before this interview about Abraham Louis Breguet, if he would use modern technology in his watches, if he would live today, and we
probably you will not do it. What was your take?
Well, we would say Breguet was an innovator in his own right.
Yes.
So I would say Breguet would automatically use the silicium monolithic movement if it was available to him.
Interesting.
Because when he was watchmaking, co-inventor of the Tourbillons, always looking to improve materials. Admittedly, he's at a time when materials could be improved much more. But
well, you're right.
So you fully intend to bring the monolithic movement to more watches in the future.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for making the bridge with Breguet, because I can only be humble enough to say that it's beautiful to use the words of Breguet together with Frederique Constant. But yes, the innovative movement we have with monolithic, it took time. We launched, that was really my junior mistake. The mistake I made back in 2021 when we launched too aggressively with a high number of limited editions. It was not high, but 810 pieces was for that particular movement a super challenge for my team. So we took really time to consolidate and to upgrade and to constantly work on the movement and to deliver the movement. And we finally come to a point now where we start to deliver the movement. But now also I feel comfortable to plan new launches.
That's great.
In multiple movements.
Because it was one of the few truly innovative movements that we've seen in the last 5 years. So it was great to see that level of technology coming from a brand like Frederique Constant.
Like a young watch brand like Frederique Constant, because that's what it still is. The big giants. I think that's also the benefit what we had. Sorry, I maybe go away a bit from your questions, but I think we were the right brand to do it, because many brands would not dare to go yet. We did it. So I think that's what the watch industry also needs. And in the past years, we have seen after COVID, the luxury exploding. Rolex, Cartier had record years. That forced also the customer to look at certain other brands. And it helped the independent brands to pop up and to have a space and a stage to sell watches. And it really, for me, made the industry very attractive with new collaborations, with color variations, with new design of innovation of movements. And I think that's what the industry needed. And I'm very happy to be part of that.
And of course, innovation isn't easy. And then particularly when you're micro-manufacturing in silicon, like the monolith movement, monolith escapement.
Yeah, that has been very challenging.
That's a really big challenge.
It has been very challenging, I can tell you.
We had this discussion in a couple of collectors' talks as well, where we said, what if not just watchmakers starting to do the material science and these kind of innovations, what if real-world engineers and scientists also contribute to the watchmaking with completely different views of materials and how to actually create a movement? And I think one of these results, you cooperated with a university in the Netherlands.
This is from it's at the incubator Delft, Delft, the University of Delft. There's a small company, Flexus. We're specialized in flexible solutions for watchmaking, also for other industries, but mainly the watch industry. And they really brought the engineer science direction back into the industry of watches. And those two worlds together, we had to really motivate the teams together to bring it together, because they were not talking the same language. Super challenging. And it took time. But finally, you see now that it makes a huge innovative drive.
Yeah. No, that's really fantastic to see. And it's great to see such a movement as the first, and it's not yet matched anywhere else in the industry. So that's fantastic. Talking about more of the brand itself, because we just have a minute left or so. Or maybe a few minutes more. The spread between the most expensive Frederique Constant, I think you're in the mid 20,000 euro range. 40,000 euro range with your Tourbillon.
Perpetual and the Tourbillon.
To the lowest price ones. There's a huge wide gap. Some brands struggle with this.
Yeah.
How is it with you? Do you think that's...
We don't struggle with it, but clearly that the consumer doesn't get it. And we are a multiple brand that operates female masculine in two directions, and quartz, automatics, and manufacture. We have always been operating like that, but the manufacture has been accelerating the past years. And this year it's a confirmation for me that the manufacture in the price range where we are is exploding, actually. It's easier today to sell a manufacture than to a base automatic movement, because there's more competition there. Right. And the uniqueness we have with manufacture is really unique. That said, you can expect from us that in the bottom, let's say the base of our product line, quartz, we're going to have an innovation coming that will upgrade also the quartz into an innovative drive, and will upgrade it into the whole collection. So something fresh and new for the coming years.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, we can't wait to see that. Yeah, absolutely. And then my last question for this interview is, if somebody puts, as they say, a gun to your head and says, which model for which brand, what does the brand stand for? Which one would that be for Frederique Constant? What do you think? We have our own opinion, but we will share that later.
So for me, it will be the world timer, classical world timer.
Okay, then we have the same.
So that's what we achieved, correct, with that model. Absolutely. So we launched back in 2012, and it's steadily by year, by far, the most iconic, best-selling manufacture caliber we have in the collection.
All right.
What will be upgraded by the way in a few years from now? You will see a new version coming. The existing one will stay, but it will come in a new version also.
Wonderful.
And one more, if I may.
Please, yes.
2023 has been a great year. Without giving away any secrets, what are you most looking forward to for next year?
I'm gonna give away a secret. So next year, we launched this year the Tourbillon, 15,000 euro, quite accessible in the terms of Tourbillon, but still expensive. Then we have launched a new caliber, big date, power reserve moon phase. And next year, we're going to upgrade the base manufacture caliber with a 72-hour power reserve plus 5%. So that's going to be the new norm for our manufacture movements in the future. And that will be launched next year. So I'm looking forward to launch that into more an accessible price range. It's starting around 3,000 euro.
Excellent.
And I think that's going to open some eyes, and it's going to help the consumer to attract even more to my brand, what I think it's nice, correct?
Absolutely.
I'm finally here to sell watches. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, 70 hours, everything around this is basically, it's just the sweet spot at the moment. I think it's just something where I don't have to wind the watches so often for my wife because her watches run out very quickly, and ladies change watches a bit more often than men sometimes. Right?
I agree.
Yeah, that would be lovely. We would like to see that. How important is the region for you? Yeah, the Middle Eastern
Super
region.
important. It has always been a very extremely important market for us. Dubai specific with Siddiqui, super important long-term relation. And we also have been, interesting for me in the past 10 years with this show, Dubai Watch Week, we moved from 4 square meters to 8 square meters. We are now at 16 square meters. So you see also the dominant position we have became that we are more important for Siddiqui. And I'm very happy with that because we're doing a lot within the region and with Siddiqui to make the success of the brand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a generally what we see with brands that are partnering with Siddiqui. They really want you to be successful, obviously, for their own success as well as for the brand success. And they do a lot of, like this event, to educate people about the watches in itself, the brands behind it, the stories, which is for us as collectors always nearly as important as the watch itself, right? It's the story behind it. It's
absolutely. And they're one of the best in the world. To really bring the whole experience for watch lovers, consumers that don't know clue about watches, they still manage to really bring that experience to the consumer. And that's where the brand as Frederique Constant really needs that. I also humbly agree that we are not a major well-known brand. So the moment we have a partner that understands the brand values and can communicate easily, it's very easy to sell, much easier. Yeah. So I'm very happy.
That's great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Niels.
Thank you very much.
It was a great time we had with you, and we really, really wish you all the best for the brand. And I hope to see a world timer on my wrist soon in the future then.
Well, I'm inviting you to have a look.
Will do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.